Do you want to grow a career on YouTube? Well, you're in the right place. That's what I do. I've helped dozens of people create careers on YouTube to the tune of 6 or 7 figures per month. On every one of these channels, we followed the same formula, and that's what I'm going to share in this episode. There are 6 different types of YouTube careers. I'm going to explain each and show you several different examples. And of course, I'll share which one is my favorite type of YouTube channel. By the end of this episode, you'll know which type of YouTube channel is the best fit for you. The first thing to do in starting a YouTube career is deciding what type of channel you're going to create. Yeah, there's a lot of different types of YouTube channels. In fact, there are 6. Okay, let's dive into these 6 different types of YouTube channels or YouTube careers. Number 1, entertaining or entertainment type YouTube channels. Entertaining channels typically generate revenue in 3 different ways: AdSense, sponsorships, and merchandise or merch, right? So when you get a lot of views on your channel because it's such entertaining content, there's a lot of advertising that goes along with that, and so YouTube will actually pay you 55% of that ad revenue. Also, people want to be sponsored on your channel, and so they'll write you a big check to feature them and sponsor that specific video. And if you have your own swag or merchandise or different gear with your logo on it or something like that, oftentimes entertaining channels will make revenue that way. So for entertaining channels, here's a few examples for you. Mr. Beast is one of the first ones that I think of. His videos are totally entertaining. They're like game shows or challenges. I remember watching this episode. He gave his 40 millionth subscriber, so person number 40 million to subscribe to his channel, he actually gave 40 cars to, and it was a challenge to see could he give away 40 cars within 24 hours, and he did. Definitely check out some of the videos that he's done. Another channel I want to showcase that's really entertaining, this is JK Studios. They do sketch comedy. This is the original cast from Studio C, if you've ever seen that channel. Or they're like a family-friendly version of Saturday Night Live. So there's acting and whatnot in here. This is a great example of sketch comedy. Now there's some channels that they just do fun stuff, and it's so interesting to watch. These guys film everything with an extremely slow motion camera. So they'll explode stuff, or they'll spit, or they'll break something, and they have a whole channel. Obviously they've got 14 million subscribers, so watching things in slow motion is very, very popular. And check out this last example. This is called How Ridiculous. These guys are in Australia, and they have access to this really, really, really tall tower. They drop things to check what happens. They've dropped a car on a trampoline. They've dropped a PlayStation versus an Xbox to see which one is stronger from that height. They've tested out bulletproof glass from that height and checked to see which would survive, or dropping pumpkins. So those are some examples of entertaining channels. The second category of YouTube channel is adventure. Okay, so if you have an adventure YouTube channel, typically those often monetize in the same way with AdSense, sponsorships, merchandise. Another big way is Patreon. This is like crowdsourcing or crowdfunding for creators. And oftentimes people love adventure channels because they feel like they get to go on their adventures with them. They love seeing the adventures that they go on, and they might contribute $1 per episode or $10 per episode. And some adventure channels that I follow, I've seen them also sell how-to courses. So one channel, they have a course on how to sail and how to navigate, how to maintain a boat. Or another channel, they do a lot of RVing, and they teach you how to do a lot of things like repair on your RV, or how to book RV sites in national parks, or how to install solar panels on your roof, all those types of things. I've got 2 extremely awesome adventure channels that I want to show you here that I actually follow. Less Junk, More Journey. I know them. I met them a couple of years ago and interviewed them about their journey and about their success on YouTube. What I love most about their channel is the time and effort they put into it. They do educational stuff. They certainly take us on a lot of adventures. I've seen so many national parks. Their cinematography is really good. They put a lot of time in getting a lot of different angles. On many of their episodes, the first 30 seconds, sometimes even the first minute, there's actually no talking, but they show so much and they use so many different angles to tell a story that it just pulls you in. It was mind-boggling when I first noticed it. It's like, wow, how did they do that to me? How did they do that without even saying anything for the first minute? So definitely check out this channel and find some episodes that do that. Their cinematography is really good. This next one is Sailing La Vagabond. Elena and Riley from Australia. They've been traveling the world living on a yacht for, I believe, 6 years. They now have a son that lives with them on the yacht as well. And it's crazy that they're still continuing during the pandemic. They do teach about yachting and boat maintenance and what it's like and how to live a life like that. But they go on so many adventures. They live in paradise and they are doing extremely well. In fact, the catamaran that they live on, it's over $1 million yacht. And it's paid for and funded because of this channel. They actually make tens of thousands of dollars on each episode, and they upload at least a couple episodes per week. Once I discovered their channel, YouTube started suggesting other yachting adventure channels to me, and as I watched them, I just couldn't get in. I don't know, Elena and Riley, they do a really good job of storytelling. They're very approachable. Their cinematography is really good. So if you're wanting to do an adventure channel, this is definitely one that I would study. You ready for number 3? Product reviews. Product reviews also bring in a lot of ad revenue and sponsorships. They're talking about products, so sponsorships are a natural fit there. I also want to add affiliate commissions. So just to make the example easy, let's say you recommended a camera on your channel and that camera happens to be sold on Amazon. You can include an affiliate link in the description, and if people click on that, make that purchase, you get a percentage. Now, the percentage on Amazon is pretty low, but if your affiliate is a company that you worked a relationship with individually, it's not uncommon to have a 50% affiliate commission. So if there's a $100 purchase, you get $50. If there's a $1,000 purchase, you get $500. So the first channel I thought of when it comes to product review is Marcus Brownlee, or MKBHD. He does really good reviews. He's gotten really good over the years at this. And in fact, what I recommend you do when you check out this channel is go back through his history. You can come over here to sort by, and I'm on the videos page, but you can go to oldest and you'll see what his videos were like 12 years ago and compare what he was like back then to what he's like now on camera. A lot of times I get intimidated and think, ooh, I have to talk like that, but it's so unnatural for me. Just start where you are and you can make improvements over time. Another example, and this is a friend of mine, Jerry Rig Everything is his channel. He does a lot of stress tests, and he'll bend phones to see when they'll break, or he'll test a new screen and drop it, or a case to see if it will protect the phone. You can see right here he's putting a razor blade on the screen to see if it will scratch it. And the last example I wanted to show you in the product review category, but can also go into the entertaining category, is what's inside, because they take different products or things and they cut them in half to see what's inside. I want to show you some of their most popular videos. It's a fun channel. What's inside a rattlesnake rattle? 88 million views on this video. Have a lot of fun and get some good ideas from this channel. Category number 4, music. Now, music channels often get a lot of views to make AdSense worthwhile, and people love being patrons on Patreon to musicians on YouTube. Another one I can add, I've seen musicians sell albums or downloads of their music. If you're a musician and you're wanting to do a music channel, then there's 2 channels that I highly recommend that you watch but that you study. Okay, Peter Hollins, he does a cappella. He's a master cinematographer. He's a master musician or editor or mixer or whatever you call merging all the tracks into a masterpiece. He is so good at monetizing his channel and the business behind his channel. So you really need to study it. Look at what he's doing, but then study how is he making this a business. You've probably heard of Lindsey Sterling. She plays a violin and she dances. Study what she does and how she feeds her career, where she performs and she travels and she tours. It all started because of what she did on YouTube. So go back in history and look how she began. She actually worked with Devin Graham. If you happen to know the channel Devin Supertramp, he produced some of her earlier episodes. But look how she started. And with both of these channels, look at what they do with covers, with original music, how they engage and involve their audience. I would go over to Patreon and look at both their accounts there and see what they offer. Category number 5, news or documentary style videos. These commonly monetize through AdSense and sponsorships. Now, this first channel in this category I want to show you that I'm really excited about. This is one that I've learned so much from. In fact, back when I was just learning the ropes of YouTube, I studied his channel because he is a master at creating content that keeps people engaged the whole time and really teaching principles that you remember at the end and your understanding changes. Back when I first started following Derek on his channel, he had about 1 million subscribers, and I noticed that he had filmed a video in Utah. Now, he's from Australia, he lives in Canada, and yet he filmed in Utah, and then he was over and he filmed an episode in Chernobyl about radiation. I thought, he's obviously doing this as a career. How does he fund all this? How does he make money making these YouTube videos? And I found that he was being invited to speak at a lot of places, science events or YouTube events. He was doing documentaries and being hired because of the exposure his channel gave him. I learned about AdSense revenue, and he's definitely making AdSense revenue. And then at the end of his videos, he often talks about a book that relates to that episode, and he'll send people to Audible as an affiliate. So if they get their audiobook from Audible, he gets an affiliate commission. So let me show you some more examples in this category. The next one I have to show you is this guy, Tom Scott. He talks about a lot of miscellaneous things. It's kind of half news and half documentary, where he goes to different places and just tells stories. They're interesting enough topics, and he actually films them on location, that he gets a lot of views and probably makes a lot of ad revenue. Now here's an example that this guy films every episode with the same background. He's in his office, he's got an IKEA bookshelf behind him, and he just talks. He puts a lot of thought and a lot of research into every episode, and so his content is pretty engaging. It's a pretty good contrast to the previous example, traveling versus just filming in the same place every single time. This last channel in this category is a fun one that I'm excited to introduce you to. It's The King of Random. The founder of this channel, a friend of mine, Grant Thompson, he did pass away a year and a few months ago, but the channel still carries on. And a couple years before he passed, he hired other people to actually take his place as a star on the show. And so if that's something you ever want to do, definitely study this channel to learn how he was able to do that, but also study the type of episodes that they make if you're interested in doing experiments or fun activities in your episodes. I saved the best for last. How-to videos. Okay, how-to content, that's the type of channel that I am really good at. Yes, we make AdSense revenue. Occasionally, we do sponsorships. Sometimes we get affiliate commissions. I want to talk about JV deals. Because you're a business owner, you can partner with another business, and if you feature them more than just an affiliate, you can get like an affiliate commission, or you can get ongoing revenues for programs or event sales or upsells. So these two are typically similar, but usually there's a much higher price tag on JV deals. But the biggest one, the one that overshadows all of these, you get leads to your business. Now typically this is going to be 10 or 100 or sometimes even 1,000 times what you're making up here. Seriously. This is my favorite type of channel and the one that I have expertise in. The first channel I'm going to show you I do not produce, but the second and third I produce those channels. This first one has a flair of adventure to it, but they teach you how to make model airplanes. They do experiments, they see if it flies, they share their thought process, and when something doesn't work, what they do to fix it, and then they fix it and try it. What's really exciting is this channel is backed by a business. They sell model airplane kits. They actually put on events. They actually run a golf course as well, where they have their runways and where they fly all their model airplanes. So definitely check out this channel and study how this supports their business. Oh man, I'm excited to introduce you to Noelle Randall. She teaches real estate investing, specifically Airbnb real estate. So she teaches all about that, but she also teaches things about entrepreneurship and about business funding. She's got a lot of experience, a lot of personality. She's actually very, very successful. And what I really love is that she's so down to earth. She's so approachable. With all of her success, she's just so cool and so easy to talk to. And as a side note, because I produce her channel, she's so easy to work with. She really follows my strategy to the letter. So study her channel, look at her titles, look at the flow of her content, look at her calls to action, and then go to her landing pages and study what she does. Okay, and one more example. This is Nicolene Peck. She is the world's foremost parenting expert. I say world's foremost, and that's definitely my opinion, because a year ago, my wife and I took her 3-day parenting course, and our home, our parenting, our relationship with our children, it's completely transformed for the better. She has a lot of tools and training and resources that as a business, she's really able to help transform parenting around the world, and this YouTube channel supports it. She teaches, she puts out a lot of how-to content, and when people want hands-on help, they go to her business. Right, now that you have a better idea of what type of YouTube channel you should use for your YouTube career, we gotta just get started, okay? And I'm gonna recommend something. Start with the phone, okay? Start with the camera that you've got right now in your pocket or in your purse. This camera right here is really advanced. They've come a long way and you can do a lot. And so many of the settings are automatic, so it makes you look amazing. What's more important than production quality in terms of the equipment and the gear that you use is your content. Just be you, just teach, just share your wisdom, share your advice. Okay, learn my formula that I teach on this channel and be consistent with it. You know, the strategy that I teach, you're just answering questions. So the questions that your audience is asking, you're making episodes to answer their questions. Just stay consistent answering their questions. Or if another style of channel stuck out to you, then find a channel like that to study and really go deep. Figure out what type of gear they use. How often do they film? How do they do those cool edits that you like? Study it, practice it, and try and emulate what they do. So if you want to build a channel that generates leads for your business, that's my expertise, and I want to share with you all of my secrets. I've put it all into one place, my Influencer Almanac, and I give it away for free. So this is my free gift for you. Go ahead and check the link below for my Influencer Almanac. I have all my tips, all my tools, and especially my YouTube strategies on how to leverage YouTube to generate leads for your business and grow influence.